Welcome to the guidance configuration and setup video for the PLM IntelliView 12. This video will cover the setup of the PLM IntelliSteer. It will also cover the setup of the Cygnus receiver. The first step in setting up guidance is to navigate to the menu and select the GNSS and guidance card in the display. This will bring us to the GNSS and guidance setup page. The first setup will be the GNSS receiver. We will begin by selecting the correction source. This could include RTK, WAS, or cellular correction. In our example, we will be setting up WAS as a correction source. In this screen, we will turn the satellite-based augmentation setting on. The correction satellite system setting will enable us to select WAS or another correction source if we are in a different region. Each satellite in the correction satellite system has a unique identifier called a pseudo-random noise or PRN code. The default PRN option of Auto will automatically select the satellite that results in the best performance. Keep the PRN option set to Auto unless instructed by your dealer, such as when it is a common occurrence for the wrong satellite to be automatically selected. In addition, the SBAS menu displays the estimated accuracy and the accuracy versus availability slider. In the GPS receiver setup screen, the auto line hold feature can be enabled under the GNSS receiver setup menu. The auto line hold feature allows for a smoother transition when your correction source temporarily switches to a lower accuracy backup solution. This feature is especially useful for precision steering applications where sudden jumps may be disruptive, and allow you to operate the vehicle with auto guidance engaged without manual intervention, nudging, or remarking in areas where your correction signal is blocked. To disable all correction sources, enable the No Corrections feature. The No Corrections feature is available for remote regions of the globe where no correction source is available. When No Corrections is enabled, the system uses raw, uncorrected GNSS signals for data collection and vehicle control. In the GNSS position output screen, NMA messages can be set up. Select an existing configuration or create a new configuration with the configuration drop-down menu to set up NMA serial output. Here the port selection along with the baud rate and terrain compensation can be configured. Next, we will move on to the guidance setup screen. Press the on-off button to enable the guidance feature to access the additional settings. Upon enabling the guidance feature, we will select PLM IntelliSteer. To edit, delete, or create a new guidance configuration, press the Guidance Configuration drop-down menu. Here a new configuration can be created. Under the Guidance System Configuration page, the steering aggressiveness can be adjusted. The online steering aggressiveness setting controls how quickly the vehicle steers during automatic operation to keep the vehicle online when driving a swath. The setting allows the operator to adjust system performance for changing soil conditions or vehicle equipment. Standard swath acquisition controls how sharply the vehicle turns once the automatic operation has been engaged while the system is bringing the vehicle onto the swath. The standard swath acquisition setting allows the operator to adjust system performance for headland depth, vehicle profile, and personal preference. As we scroll down, the next setting will be the maximum steer angle. The maximum steering angle is the largest turn angle that the steered axle of the vehicle will use during swath acquisition at low speeds. The optimal value depends on the vehicle and on the operator's preference. The active swath point setting determines the point at which the active swath is selected. This setting is important when an operator is manually driving through a field and trying to select a particular swath before engaging auto guidance. The last setup will be vehicle measurements. For all vehicles, the GNSS antenna location is defined by three measurements. First, the center offset, the distance from the roll center line or y-axis to the receiver. Secondly, the forward offset, the distance from the receiver to the vehicle reference point, which will vary by vehicle. Lastly, the height offset, the distance from the bottom center of the receiver to the ground. The physical vehicle measurements are set in the same way as the GNSS antenna measurements. However, the specific type of measurement will vary based on vehicle type. The physical vehicle measurements pre-configured in the display and should not require adjustment. If you must adjust the offset values, change the physical vehicle measurement setting from default to custom. Once the measurements are set up, this concludes the steps for the auto guidance setup. Refer to the software operating guide for further information.